Ready to buy a house? Naturally, the steps to buying a house for the first time might seem complicated, particularly if you're a home buyer trying to purchase real estate with no prior experience. Between down payments, credit scores, mortgage rates, property taxes, interest rates, and closing the deal, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. There's so much at stake with a first home. Still, if you familiar yourself with what it takes to buy your first home beforehand, it can help you navigate the real estate market with ease. So let's get started. Step 1 is to start gathering a down payment. This is one of the most important steps to buying a house for the first time, is to figure out your finances. Buying a new home, particularly for the first time, will require a mortgage. This is where a lender will front you the money and you pay it back over time. However, to get a mortgage, you'll need some sort of down payment. So how much do you need? Ideally, a down payment on a mortgage should be 20% of the home's price to avoid added fees. But if you don't have that much down payment, don't worry. A mortgage down payment can be as low as 10%, 5%, or even 0 for certain types of mortgages. Step 2 is check your credit score. Did you forget to pay off a couple of credit cards? Unfortunately, it'll affect your credit score. In addition to having a down payment, a first-time homebuyer will also need a decent credit score. This 3-digit number is a numerical summary of your credit report. This is a detailed document outlining how well you've paid off past debts. For instance, like credit cards or college student loans. A lender will check your credit score and report to estimate the odds that you will deliver your monthly payment. In turn, the lender will use this info to decide whether or not to loan you money, as well as how much and at what interest rate. If a lender sees some late payments on your credit cards or other blemishes on your credit report, this can lower your odds of getting a loan with a great interest rate, or perhaps even jeopardize your chances of getting a loan at all. So it's essential to know your credit score and take the steps with those overextended credit cards and high interest debts to bring your credit score up to snuff. Step 3 is to get pre-approved for a mortgage. Another one of the most important first-time home buyer steps is seeking pre-approval from a lender for a home loan. This is where you meet with a loan officer, ideally a few at various mortgage companies. Each mortgage lender will scrutinize your financial background, such as your debt to income ratio and your assets, and use this info to determine whether or not to loan you money and what size monthly payment you can realistically afford. This will help you target homes in your price range, and that's good because a purchase price that's beyond your financial reach will make you sweat your mortgage payment and put you at risk of defaulting on your loan. As a buyer, just keep in mind that a mortgage pre-approval is different from a mortgage pre-qualification. Pre-qualify and you're undergoing a much simpler process that can give you a ballpark figure of what you can afford to borrow with no promise from the lender. Getting pre-approved is more of a pain since you'll have to provide a ton more paperwork, but it's worth the trouble since it guarantees you're credit worthy and that you can truly buy a home. Before you even meet with a lender, one step a home buyer can take to begin the understanding of what they can afford as a monthly mortgage payment is to plug their info into an online home affordability calculator. This will calculate the maximum amount that you can afford as a monthly payment. Step 4, find a real estate agent. Want a trust home buying guide by your side? Most first-timers will want a great real estate agent, specifically a buyer's agent, who will help them find the right houses, negotiate a great real estate deal, and explain all of the nuances of home buying along the way. There is a subtle difference between a real estate agent and a realtor. The latter is a member of the National Association of Realtors and adheres to a code of ethics. Consider having a realtor additional insurance that will get you the help you need to ace the process. Step 5, go shop for homes. This is the fun part. As a home buyer, you can pursue thousands of real estate listings online and then ask your real estate agent to set up your favorites in person. Since the sheer number of homes can become overwhelming, it's best to separate your must-have from those features you'd like but don't really need. Do you really want a new home, or do you prefer a fixer-upper? Step 6 is to make an offer. You found your dream home, then the next step is to make an offer to the seller. As you can imagine, in this market, it's an entirely different conversation, so please check out my channel where I made a really great video that talks all about that. Step 7 is to have a home inspection. A home inspection is where you hire a home inspector to check out the house from top to bottom to determine if there are any problems with it that might make you think twice about moving forward. Think termites, faulty foundations, mold, asbestos, etc. Sure, a lot can go wrong, but rest assured that most problems are fixable. Step 8 is to get a home appraisal. Even if you got pre-approved for your home loan, your lender will want to conduct a home appraisal. This is where your lender checks out the house to make sure it's a good investment. It's similar to a home inspection, but for your lender. Step 9 is head to closing. Closing, which in different parts of the country is also known as settlement or escrow, brings together a variety of parties who are part of the real estate transaction, like the buyer, the seller, the mortgage representative, and others. In California, before we close, all parties sign closing paperwork, and the buyer will be required to deposit the remaining funds in escrow, like down payment plus closing fees. Closing fees are the extra fees that you pay to process the loan. Step 10 is move in. Got your loan? Done with closing? Congratulations, you've officially graduated from home buyer to homeowner. See, the long-term process of buying your first home wasn't so scary after all, right? Now it's time to kick back and enjoy the many benefits of becoming a homeowner.